This is the AM News. Details now. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofibua, has ordered an immediate revocation of the mining license of Akonta Mining Company Limited. And this follows a series of allegations of the company's involvement in illegal mining activities and a breach of mining regulations. Addressing a press conference, the Lands Minister reveals that Akonta Mining is not engaged in galamsey. It is also selling concessions in the Aboy forest to illegal miners for 300,000 Ghana cedis and sometimes in exchange for gold royalties. James Aveji tells us more in this report.
Before he could even open the presser, the Lands Minister, Emmanuel Amakofibua, broke down after watching a clip of the devastation caused to rivers and forest reserves by galamsey activities. He says he's overwhelmed by the level of destruction meted on the environment by these illegal miners.
I was emotional. I couldn't, I've watched that video after the operations. I watched that video, and every time I watch it, I get emotional because I cannot believe that we have Ghanaian citizens that will decide that this is how they are going to make money. And I believe every Ghanaian should be emotional as I am. I was trying to avoid it.
Giving details on the findings by the ministry, he said Akonta Mining Company is not only engaging in galamsey activities, but also selling concession in their Aboy forest to illegal miners for money and gold.
This company has not only trespassed into protected reserves, but has become a criminal syndicate, selling assets of the Aboy Forest Reserve to illegal miners for a staggering 300,000 Ghana cedi per concession. One representative of Akonta Mining, is the liaison of these dealings. He serves as the gatekeeper, negotiating fees and granting illegal access. The concessions are then subleased to individuals like one Mr. Henry and another individual identified as Shak, who are to oversee the devastation of the Aboy Forest Reserve in the Tano River. As part of the agreement between Akonta Mining and the illegal miners, a weekly royalties of 250 grams of gold are to be paid to the company, lining the pockets of Akonta's collaborators. Another breakthrough revelation is that this criminal enterprise thrives because of the active collusion and connivance of some forestry officers and some security personnel. Here is how it works. Part of the 300,000 Ghana cedi fees goes to the Akonta Mining, a portion goes to Sahari and Shak and their cohorts, and another portion goes to the forestry and security officials, according to investigators. These officers take a cut as a service charge in exchange for protection and tip-offs in the event of an impending raid.
He has ordered an immediate revocation of Akonta Mining's license and interdiction of all persons involved in this illegality.
In light of the overwhelming evidence, I have authorized the Minerals Commission to immediately take steps to revoke the lease of Akonta Mining with immediate effect. I've directed the Forestry Commission officials connected to these illegalities be immediately interdicted, pending further investigations and prosecution. Security agencies have been notified to investigate security officers who have had dealings with Akonta Mining in this particular forest reserve.
Providing some updates on the ongoing police clampdown on galamsey activities, the minister said at least 51 persons have been arrested with excavators and a number of ammunitions.
The operation in compartment 19, which began at 5 a.m. on that day, lasted for a whopping 12 hours. And the last 3 days has also continued. So far, 51 arrests have been made. 8 Chinese national, 39 Ghanaian, and 4 women. So far, we have seized about 30 excavators. 5 have been required impounded at the operation base 2 pump action guns loaded with 5 and 2 rounds of BP cartridges each, 1 single barrel gun retrieved. We have confiscated 2 Toyota Hilux pickups, 1 Toyota RAV4, 4 motorbikes, and a cache of mining equipment. All suspects have been transported to Accra and in the custody of the Ghana Police Service pending prosecution.
Meanwhile, calls still persist for government to halt the deportation of foreigners involved in galamsey and allow them to stand prosecution. James Avaji's report read to you.
Hashtag stop galamsey now, hashtag say no to galamsey still on. The fight is very much active. Now let's do some other stories, because the Upper East Regional Minister, Donatu Sakamgri, has assured that the new National Democratic Congress government will reassess key projects initiated by the previous NPP administration, particularly the One Village, One Dam initiative. In a recent meeting, the Northern Patriots in Research and Advocacy, that's NOPRA, presented findings of its monitoring and evaluation of the One Village, One Dam, which found that the dams have further fallen into despair. And the Upper Regional Minister acknowledged the pressing issues highlighted by community members regarding the effectiveness of the dams constructed under the policy. More in this report.
The One Village, One Dam initiative was launched with the promise of enhancing food security and addressing widespread poverty in northern Ghana, where a majority of the population relies on rain-fed agriculture. However, the small-scale irrigation dams intended to support year-round farming were poorly constructed, and farmers could not use them for the intended purposes. The Northern Patriots in Research and Advocacy, NOPRA, a civil society organization, conducted some monitoring and evaluation of the One Village, One Dam initiative. Their findings revealed that even the poorly constructed dams have further fallen into disrepair. During visits to dams in Zanlergu in the Napdam district, Kunkwa in the Bolgatanga East district, and Ayopia in the Bongo district, where former President Nana Akufo-Addo first inaugurated the One Village, One Dam project, community members said the dams had dried up by March and were now deemed completely useless.
There's nothing like water as we stand now. It has been dried up, and we are in the month of March, and this is not the time it dries up. It dries up by December, January, which means that we cannot use it as the purpose that it was constructed for.
There's not even a little water in it. There's nothing. If you want to even do dry season farm, you can't even get a place to farm. We will be much grateful if the government could come in to build on this dam.
The Northern Patriots in Research and Advocacy, NOPRA, says since 2024, they have extended their monitoring to cover a majority of the over 500 One Village, One Dam projects constructed across northern Ghana, and discovered that the dams were not fit for purpose. NOPRA, therefore, decided to present the findings of their evaluation of the One Village, One Dam projects to the new NDC government through the Upper East Regional Minister, in the hope that this government will revisit the initiative. Bismarck Ayorgo is the Executive Director of NOPRA.
Seeing that the millions of Ghana cedis sank into construction of these dams was nothing but a total drain on the public purse of this country. We want to urge government to, in the name of transparency and accountability, call all actors or people who are responsible in implementing these policies to account to the good people of this country what they did with the taxpayers' money. That today, you go around all the 5 regions in northern Ghana and you cannot see any water in these dams that we have sunk so much into digging. all of them are dry. Because in this region, there is enough water. And people who even use hands to dig, they're able to get water. How come we spent on the average 670,000 Ghana cedis each for these dams and we cannot have water? It's a serious matter.
Upper East Regional Minister Donatus Akamukri gave the assurance that the current NDC government will reassess key projects initiated by the previous administration, including the One Village, One Dam initiative.
This does not suggest that the government is going to do witch hunting. It doesn't mean that every procurement that has been done in a shoddy manner. But those of them that Ghanaians are shortchanged, obviously this government will call for serious investigations and then actions taken. We can assure you of that. We've taken it as a guide that all the pro-poor policies that we are bringing into play, we will follow religiously the regime, the policy regimes, and make sure that whatever is due the citizenry gets to them.
It remains to be seen when the NDC government will revisit the One Village, One Dam initiative and commit resources to improving the dams to make them fit for dry season irrigation farming. Reporting for Joy News, Albert Sorry, Bolgatanga.
The Upper East Region Airport project has received a significant boost with a recent visit of Yvonne Opari, that's the CEO of the Ghana Airports Company Limited, who inspected the proposed site at Sumburgu. The visit follows an earlier promise by President John Dramani Mahama to the people of the region during his thank you tour that they will finally get an airport under his government. Our correspondent Albert Sorry reports again.
The Upper East Region is situated over 800 kilometers from Accra. Therefore, journeys by bus typically take a minimum of 12 hours to reach the capital and 8 hours to get to Kumasi. Currently, the nearest airport is in Tamale, which is about 3 hours by road, highlighting the urgent need for an airport in the region to make it easier for people to travel by air, especially in emergencies. The demand by the people of the Upper East Region for an airport has intensified, particularly in light of recent safety concerns along the Bolgatanga-Waliwali-Tamale Highway, where attacks and killings have surged. In response to these security issues and the long-standing need for direct access to air travel, a social group known as Alangube initiated preparatory works on the abandoned site at Sombrongo and rallied support from residents and stakeholders to draw attention to the project.
What we have done on our own selves, together with our social group Alangube, is to create this runway of 120 meters by 3,500, which is more than an international airport runway. But the land is far. We can even make 4 or 5 runways in this airport area. So it is not small. The airport is not a proposed anymore from today. We have all agreed from Sumburunga and a team here, and we are here to hand over the land.
During his thank you tour in March, President John Mahama pledged to address the long-standing Upper East Region Airport project.
I've also asked the Managing Director of the Ghana Airports Company to commence the sourcing of funding for the construction of the Upper East Regional Airport. We intend to do this under a PPP model in conjunction with the gold mining companies in this region, since this will allow them also to airlift their gold bullion safely to Accra directly from the Upper East Region.
The President has now taken a step further by delegating the CEO of the Ghana Airports Company Limited, Yvonne Opari, to visit the site for the airport project in Sombrongo. After her inspection, the CEO of the Ghana Airports Company reaffirmed the government's commitment to making the airport a reality.
And I'm here with my technical team to assess the land that you are giving us to establish the direction of His Excellency, the President John Dramani Mahama, to establish an airport at the Upper East region. I want to take the opportunity to thank the Alan Gube group who have spent their own resources to grade the land and create the path for a runway up to about 2,000 meters. This shows a lot of seriousness for this project, and the President also attaches a lot of seriousness to it, and we know that as the months go along, you will see some visible signs of us having started this project.
Upper East Regional Minister Donatus Akamokri Atanga also emphasized the airport's potential to transform the local economy.
This area, in fact, it's going to be the airport that will supersede all the airports in this country. Because what we have here, we have 9 out of 15 municipal and district assemblies that have gold deposits. And so, which means that the mining companies will need a faster means of conveying their staff as well as conveying their products. Apart from that, this area, we have 15 municipal or district assemblies, and you have about 8 district assemblies that are border assemblies. And border districts means that, international business will boom.
With the visit from the CEO of the Ghana Airports Company and the renewed commitment from the government, the people of the Upper East region are hopeful that the long-awaited airport will soon become a reality. For Joy News, Albert Sori, Bolgatanga.
In other stories, a group calling itself the Aggrieved and Concerned Youth of the NDC in Pandai constituency have expressed their frustrations over unexplained delays and alleged irregularities in the process of the nomination of a DCE for the area. The youth are questioning the party leadership's actions and transparency. Convener Solomon Nambu alleges that they have information there were schemes to sidestep the 3 who qualified at the original vetting for one of the failed aspirants. And Martina Bugri will tell us more.
17 candidates were vetted at the regional level with the following 3: Young Sapaku Robert, David Mensah Jampa, and Weja Gideon, being shortlisted to proceed to the national level. Currently, the Pandai district nomination of a DC is on hold. But addressing a press conference in Pandai, the youth said they have information some 3 persons are attempting to smuggle into the list of the 3 nominees a certain applicant who was not shortlisted at the regional level. The convener of the group, Solomon Nambu, said they are demanding an explanation on why there is a delay in the nomination of a DCE.
The national vetting process has been unjustifiably halted without any official communication or explanation to the party members and stakeholders in Pandai. This unexplained delay has halted development within Pandai district and fueled widespread suspicions and anger among members and their stakeholders who fear that the party's internal democracy is being undermined by a few self-serving individuals. On keeping the good people of Pandai awaiting in abeyance, the concerned youth of the great NDC deemed it prudent to meet with the constituency chairman to know the reasons for the unexplained delay in the appointment of the DC for the Pandai district. On that account, a meeting was convened at the party's office on Tuesday, 15th April 2025. To the utmost dismay of the youth, the chairman, in an absurd and a condescending manner, told the peeved youth he would not have honored the invitation if he had known the agenda for the meeting earlier.
He said they are also demanding the DCE be picked from the 3 shortlisted from the regional level.
A surprising revelation was laid bare by chairman, which took everyone present there aback
when he was asked about the state of the 3 individuals who were shortlisted. Shockingly, Chairman claimed he was never aware of any shortlisted individuals and further asserted that constituency chairmen are never consulted in the vetting processes. How can you be a panelist and can't tell who were qualified or otherwise from the regional vetting? Was it the same 17 individuals who filed that proceeded to the national level for the final vetting, or some 3? We want to bring to the attention of those individuals that whatever orchestrations they are engineering, we are fully aware, and we will stand up to them and resist vehemently. Sure. We are not cowards. The intel we have suggests that these persons are attempting to smuggle into the list of the 3 nominees a certain applicant who was not shortlisted at the regional level during the vetting process. They are all contribution to the party. They are doing this simply because that person is the weakest. He easily yields to pressure. Yes, exactly. He's unprincipled and can easily be manipulated by them. Yes. Embodied with these traits, they feel he is the best person they can use as a conduit for their selfish and parochial gains. That will not happen. Yes. We won't sit aloof to allow such a character push down our throats.
Away from that, General Overseer of Christ Resurrection Church, Apostle Joseph Mensah, has urged Parliament to swiftly pass the anti-gay bill for a presidential assent. The controversial anti-LGBTQ+ bill was sent back to Parliament as a private member's bill after failing to get the executive of the previous administration to assent to it. Apostle Mensah wants the Christian community to sustain pressure to get the bill passed and subsequent assent of the president. Nanaya Ojima has more in this report.
At the dissolution of the previous parliament, all bills that were in the legislative process and others awaiting presidential assent were dropped. For this reason, the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill was affected. Former President Nana Akufo-Addo refused to sign it into law, citing legal challenges. The bill, which prescribes a 3-year jail term for people who identify as gay and 5 to 10 years for promoters and advocates, is widely condemned by the international community. But Apostle Mensah wants it passed.
Bible speaks about against these things. So those who do not believe, even the country, in our cultural system, these things are alien to us. So the law should be enacted so that it will help. For us Christians, who are real Christians, we know and understand that it is something we do not have to go near it. But if the law is sanctioned, I think it will help to even bring all those who are not Bible believers to come into the fold for us to stand against this. In fact, it will destroy our generations.
The General Overseer was speaking on the sidelines of the launch of the Christ Resurrection Church's 40th anniversary. The launch coincided with the Easter celebration by the Christian community.
Even the name Christ Resurrection Church depicts that we cherish Easter, the time that Jesus rose for us. The church also rose. God gave us that life, and he had a covenant with us as the church started. For 39 years, Jesus has been faithful to his church, has protected the church, and help us even to extend the gospel to so many areas.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
And that's a wrap for the AM News Bulletin on the AM Show. We take a break, and when we return, the news review is up next. Dr. Kiamwako joins us and Dr. Samaye joins us. Please stay. We'll be right back.